you very, very much for all of you. You're coming. We live in strange times today, right? We don't know. Everything is either the weather or traffic jam or coming elections and all that. But really, really, we really appreciate you coming and covering this very important event. So before I go any further with what this is about, I just want to say something about the book who has given us the grant, and it is under HEARTH. HEARTH stands for Arts for All Season. It's an initiative by Marian Chin, so it's a federal grant. And HEARTH actually dedicates what they are doing specifically towards preserving and conserving all arts, culture, and heritage. So that is one of the reasons we received the grant, because this is what it is about. And it is the first time for Sarawak to receive a flagship grant by HEARTH. So with that out of the way, I would like to talk about what the HEARTH is about. So I'm going to just go through the slides, and you just have, let me know what, stop me if you have questions, and then we go from there. So the HEARTH actually, as you see, is basically a fireplace. And specifically in the longhouse, that's where everybody gathers. Not just for the warmth, but to cook, to sing, to dance, to sleep, to dream. And it is very symbolic. It's like you can see, these are images from the 60s. They do everything around it, from craft to chopping wood to cooking to dance. This is what we are about. This is why the title is The HEARTH Brought to Light, because I think we have forgotten how important the HEARTH is. I'm sure none of you here remember what it was like to make the fire grow bigger, because I remember the little ceramic stove, and my mother had started the fire, and then we had this metal pipe, and we would blow to make the fire bigger. That is, we did not have a dial. Yeah, it was not a Thermomix way of cooking. This particular one, the one that we showed you before, that's a Kalabit HEARTH. It's called the Den. This is a Sabah. It's not Sabah, but S-A apostrophe B-A-N. So it's Saban. So it's under the Orang Ulu. Yeah. So you can see that there are different types of HEARTHs. The majority that are in existence are really in the center of the longhouse. I just want to show a little bit about this significance, before, and many articles and stories and historical articles have been written about it. So it's not just about cooking. It really is a ritual to bring people together. And that when they build it, until they dismantle it because they're moving, they are not allowed to. It's an adat. If the fire goes cold, it means that there's nobody at home, or they have stopped the culture of living together as a community. This was just very recent. I don't know if you know of the minister, Dr. John Siki. And at the assembly recently in April, he speaks about this, how it is disappearing. and how we have not just forgotten the ritual or the culture of using the hearth, we're actually losing an entire culture, which obviously is adat. You know, may not be a federal law, but it's still a local law that has been imposed on the kampongs. But we are forgetting that and losing that. So it goes very far what is happening. So it comes back to the fire. So you can see the image on the left, it's a photo. So the stamp, I'm so convinced, was illustrated from that photo. Then the photo was printed in the 50s. At the bottom, this is very interesting. Sarawak has no one left who can make a fire with the bamboo. Sabah still does. If you know anybody, let me know. They take the bamboo, they slit it in half, and they rub it against the grain, and they make some kind of indentation, and the fire, you know, it started that way. And I've looked for months and months and months, and the only person that we can find is somebody in KK. So this is quite, basically it actually explains everything. You know, it's about, if you allow me, I would like to read it. As a family, they listen to tales of the wild, saw the natural and the unusual, and witnessed stories unfold through history from generations to generation. Through dance, music, and chanting, dreams and omens of the ancestors were passed down. Through its warmth, aching bodies were comforted. Through its heat, food hunted was made tasty, and through its smoke, preservation of jungle edibles was safeguarded to last till the next harvest. So this is the heart that holds the community together. Significance also, why are we doing it here now? It also brings the public together, brings people together. And this is one of the reasons why we're doing this. So the event has two prongs that is happening next. We have a stage right here that we're building, and a live heart. And it is a collaborative one. Both will be collaborative. Just as in the image, that's going to be built. The stage in front of it. So on the stage we will have dance, we will have instruments, music, and most important, we will have storytelling. Storytelling about one's dreams or from a book, legends, and these are, a lot of them are writers who have written stories about Sarawak. And they will be there and they will be enacting, there will be some enactment. Should it be a legend or folklore? That is a very big anchor of the stage. And around it, because of this beautiful historical building, we will have workshops, we will have talks, we will have vendors, and quite specifically, based on our heirloom culture. We just got confirmation yesterday, somebody is going to demonstrate the sewing machine that you have to, you have to, what is this? Yeah, with the hand, without any electricity. And we can do that because it's actually portable. And I actually learned to sew on these. And what is the name in class? Yeah, goyang, yes. Okay. The other ones are the ones with the feet, right? The camel leg. Why am I saying that? Is because these are things that majority of the people have not seen. I think there's just one person who can still do it, and she has agreed to come and just demonstrate. Yeah. So a few things like that. And then, of course, we have a pantomime. We'll talk about that later. And then we will have chanting, and very specifically, we have instruments that are, you know, today we don't see that very much anymore. And like the Sompotong, I think that's the, yeah, Curator, all right, different states call it differently, and it is built differently. And in Sarawak, there's nobody making that. So we're bringing someone from KK, right? From specifically, yeah, to actually show us how to make it. And then I'd like to go further. So basically what you see here is it's going to be a show, you know, at the fort. There's going to be acts on the stage here around a lot of things happening. But the bottom line is the purpose of this is to no longer no longer have our typical song and dance, you know, like our war dance. Today, I feel that it has been, you know, we've made it into a tourist dance without any understanding of why the movement, you know. And we want to try to bring back reverence, you know, to the performing artists, people who chant. And why do they chant? Because they dreamt it, not because they decided to write lyrics and then put in, you know, through the computer some kind of really fantastic tunes. I have nothing against it, but it is about not forgetting what was that movement, what was that song. How was the instrument made? How the craft became? That is what this is about. It's really what's behind song and dance, what's behind the arts, and to hear it from the experts. So the experts that we expect to see, this one because he plays this instrument. Oh, that one, because they sing this. We will put some of these experts there, but they will have their tale to tell. Their story and how it has hurt them, even though we keep promoting to preserve. But what are we preserving? Are we preserving the commercial aspect, or are we preserving the authentic aspect? This is a major thing. All right, so here are the two venues. I would like to let Lisa talk about venues, why it is important for us to choose these two. Lisa, as you know, right, from Brooks Gallery as our collaborator.
Great. Assalamualaikum, a very good afternoon to everyone. Just to add to what Marian had actually mentioned, so we have a few collaborators for our event, alright? So the main sponsor, right, would actually be Yayasan Hassan from Ministry of Finance of Federal, right? And we have key organizer here would be What Matters, Sujan Berhad. Right. And we also have some other collaborators for this festival, the 10-day festival actually, which include Brick Museums, International Music House, and Karuna, right? And yeah, so one of the reasons, you know, like under the Art Fast or Art for All Season is the value of using public spaces. And with this, you know, like what we have is to sort of like really engage, right, the use of Fort Margarita, as you all know, right, and our Oka House here, both are actually heritage building, gazetted heritage building, right? And we're thinking that heritage sites are definitely physical components of the city identity. So what we hopeful to bring is more lives into this heritage building, right? Because they are now among the key tourism attractions in Kuching. We wanted more people to actually know the building, appreciate the building, and so to sort of give it more life, more excitement, and at the end of the day, more people to understand what we actually bringing to the city. Because this linked-in architecture, the strategic locations of Fort Margarita and the Opera House, and the uses of their building reveal unique stories in adding how city came to be, and they can definitely offer predictions of where it might be moving. So we definitely, as one of the collaborators, Good Music, for example, we truly appreciate what matters, and our is actually bringing all this never seen before, or bringing back for what the future generations would be able to see at the moment. Yeah. So we're going to have inshallah schools coming in, so that they will actually be learning more about our own heritage and culture. And so it's going to be really, really exciting 10-day event for Sarawak, being the first state to actually host this flagship event. And I'm going to let Marian to talk about the Food Over Fire Festival, which is also going to be the first ever in Malaysia. So that is specifically happening at the fort for 3 days, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of December.
Actually, if you look at that image over there, right, and then the fort house right up there, you imagine two of these life-size houses with a stage. So that is actual, and with real fire, everything. So here we will actually have cooking. We will have somebody making something there. We will have food demonstration, maybe not totally with the half, because we also have limitations here. We cannot have like a bonfire, we have a little fire. And you can see over there, the half is going to be very prominent. It's going to be lit as you enter. You're going to see the stage. There's going to be a roof that is going to be with nipa leaves. Seats around. We will have a cover, so rain or shine, it is happening. Back to this, as you can see on the left side, so at the Fort Margarita, we will have the live half, we'll have the pantomime, and the word actually is entertainment, so that when people see it, they're also understanding what is happening. Food Over Fire is happening after the 1 hour pantomime theater. After 1 hour, they go outside. We have 20 cooks, most of them from kampongs, cooking over fire in its most traditional way. So including Chinese ceramic pots that I was talking about, including trunks of wood that we tumbok, pegang, tumbok, all that. So we will have 100, we wanted 150, well let's say 150. Hopefully that we will not have any problems, with the health situation. Yeah. It's going to be sit down. You'll have all these cooks cooking over the barrels and set up, with fire, charcoal fire, and wood fire. No gas, no oil, strictly wood fire and charcoal. So you can imagine we will have up to 50 different fairs. It's never been done before in Malaysia. And thanks to ACFAS recognizing that, about the heart in itself, they gave us this flagship event. So obviously it's all around the fire, all right, the cooking, the heat, the dance. So that is, the fire is the main point, the heart is the main point. On the right, from the 25th, because we're starting first at the Old Courthouse, this is everything that is going to happen. I think in the press release, you will see that on the stage, not only a cooking demonstration, but a Gajah Olen demonstration. How they do the wedding headdress, what goes inside the hair, and then a demonstration of the Karingkam, how it's placed, these are by experts. And then after that, the wedding, what is on the wedding, the Malay wedding, the Christ dance. Okay? So these all have, it's not just, okay, we have one program, one dance, one day, it's over. There really is a lot of thought put behind to maintain the authenticity of every act. Really back to our roots, back to the actors, the performing artists. Tell us your story. How do you feel? And the person who's 80 years old will tell you that the dance used to be like that. But now they have to do that because for the photo it's better. So how far have we gone? That is the main problem. Have we gone so far that we are preserving something that has lost 70%, 75% of its authenticity? Because if it goes up to 90, we are losing our cultural identity. That is very, very scary. And the other thing is also, the reason why I'm doing this is that for the public to become interested again. Not be interested in going to SCV and say, okay, I know all about the Bidayu dance, the Iban, the Milano, I know it. Because you all know there are certain things they have to do it that way. And I'm so appreciative that we have that, because that's a lot of value. But we also have to step back and say, okay, which part of this can we preserve so that the authenticity of that act, of that craft, is still kept. You know, food, all the juan, to make it, it's all made in China, plastic. The wooden ones are just thrown away. And when you cook with food in a wooden mold and then you cook it over fire, the smell is different, the taste is different, the texture is different from the one that is done with plastic. We know that, but we just accept. So what I'm doing here is that I'm saying I'm not accepting. We want to, even if it's a snail pace, we need to say, not just the younger generations, because the older generation, like my generation, don't know, have forgotten. This is the platform that we are trying to use to show that. All right, so we go on here. So I had asked just now who came to the first part of the hub. We had four times dinners, and we brought out 100-year-old recipes. And these are custodians who kept it in the family really guardedly, and they came out and they cooked. And majority was cooked over fire. It was just the start, the start to kickstart the whole event. So here is a repetition, but it is important. There are two venues. I love the forum so much I stand there and I think, wow, so many people stood here. We're trying to even ask for the 8 o'clock cannon to go. Boom! The last time was in 1960s, right? But it was so complicated. We have to pay thousands and we have to bring out the whole army that we can't. So we might still do it, but as a recording. And then, of course, heirloom showcase. That is what we call it, heirloom showcase. So the word heirloom obviously is also a keyword, and with that, especially with the live arts, this is what we are trying to achieve, and I hope you will all be here to enjoy it. Ticketing is only for the four. 100 ringgit for the show, 1 hour show by experts, people that you will be surprised you know them, but you've never seen them in that particular performance, if you like. And after the show, they go out and they eat all the 100 ringgit, which is pretty cool. I never experienced before. At least in Sarawak. Definitely, the food over fire is the first in Malaysia. I hope you come. And I think that ends the this short and sweet press conference. We're going to do another one towards the to the dates, and fingers crossed I'm able to serve you some food that is cooked over fire. We cannot do it here because we're inside. So if you are willing, we can do it at the fort, and we will serve you with some stuff, just like how it was. Okay? And we also found out that there's not much internet over there, so there will be no PDFs and all that, just between you and me, between our JP, which is, JP is in the core team, Camellia, she is handling all the social media and more, and JP, all my headaches I throw to him. Really, every time of the night, and he's handling a lot of the organization of the between the schedule and all that. And then of course, Lisa, I tell her that she has the largest shoulders. I also cry on her. And with that, thank you very much. And please, any questions? Oh, by the way, when Lisa mentions What Matters, so what Matters is actually my company. Under What Matters, I have Kino Magazine. You know Kino Magazine, all right? And then I have another company called Life's Pantry. In Life's Pantry, we deal strictly with food that we do, long shelf life food that we give to the reforms. And I've been working with Yayasan as well for that since the pandemic. We started with serving 185 families, urban poor. Now we have 470 every month. That's under Life's Pantry. The both of these are under What Matters that I started in 2012 or 2013. I thought I'd just say that in case I forget. I'm forgetting everything. Yes. Any question? If I can't answer, just throw it in.
So if the one that is at 4,
Yes.
will be paid, they will have a fee for 100 ringgit. For this one, it's going to be
Free. Here is free unless there is a workshop. For instance, there's a workshop on how to make turong asam jam, right? Turong asam and calamansi. And then if it is a workshop, we have a workshop of 10 different leaves, jungle leaves. All the leaves that we use for food. Okay, so if people want to learn that, Yes, it's only 20 ringgit, you know. It's just a question of putting, respect, to the people who have that. I mean, they get, of course, they get paid that. If we say it's free, the value is not as good. But demonstrations, they're all free. Talks, yes, there is, it's ticketed at 20. Everything that we have to hire people, yes, is ticketed at 20. Yeah. But entrance, everything is free. I would tell you that it's 85% free.
So, how many audience do you can gather at one time?
Over here?
Over here and also the floor.
Okay, at the fort, we have put it down to 150. In lieu of possible health regulations, we're going to keep it at 100 so that we can space people out. One good thing is that both venues is out in the open, except for the talks. Worst case scenario, the talks will happen on stage. That's the beauty of the stage. We can pull everybody out and say, okay, here's the stage, good mic, sit down, the show goes on. Our indoor, we will have to think about it.
So what about here?
Sorry?
What about here? It's gonna be like
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, because we were using that block. No. What is happening here is still happening, because we have a stage here, as we have a stage at the fort. But the talks that is happening here is in block F. So we might not even use it. We will say, okay, we'll bring the talks up on our stage in front of the house, just like a storytelling. And I think it will be quite interesting. It will be very intimate, and everything from dance, song, which is actually the art. We didn't go in the longhouse, we don't want to tell the story, we didn't go into the ballet. We go into the village to talk, everything happened. Even kids got canned in front of the house. Yeah. So it really is coming alive. We're even building the stage, with the nipa. Yeah. And then it will really look like what you see. And it is built by a specialist. So they don't use any silly wood. They went, they found the wood, and they are right now creating how the art is specifically. It took them 2 weeks just to find the wood. And that is being recorded, because it is quite, it's quite something.
So if we bring you like a lot of never been seen.
Yes, that's it.
Never been eaten.
Yes, there is even a demo on making edible colors from natural fruits and vegetables. All right, I think there are 8 colors, and with that person is going to make a rainbow cake. All right, and that you actually see. You just watch, and then you can do that with that. Yeah, like the butter cake. The butter cake, but we're not using chocolate. We're using Sarawak coffee. So we try to bring everything back to its, first our local produce, and then sometimes we have to innovate. When we innovate, it's got a meaning. So batik was usually chocolate. So you think back now, where did they get the chocolate 30 years ago? It was Cadbury's. It was horrible, the worst chocolate ever. Sorry. Oh no. Oh, I thought it was Cadbury's is British, so I forgot she's French. So that was like the worst type of chocolate, and then when it's exported, it's even worse. All right, it's for all kinds of junk, and we love it. But today we have our chocolate nuggets with our own cocoa that we've been exporting to so many countries, but ourselves, nada. So I think we have somebody, right? We have somebody who will sell their chocolate. Yeah, that's made yeah. This is, I'm just naming some things, but the point is we're not having an event to be entertained, it's edutainment. We're not having it just to tick off, yeah, we did an event. One show, one dance, one singing, it's not like that. It might be a bit crazy because it's not been done before, but I'm convinced that when people understand what's behind the song and dance and the acts, everything, hopefully they will see the relevance to today, how dangerous it is that we are going so far away. Many of these articles were printed in Tino, but you know, reading is reading, but seeing, tasting, smelling, you remember. Yes.
So boleh datang beramai-ramai. Yes.
I hope you will come. I mean, not just journalists or just come, enjoy yourself. You know, bring your parents, bring your grandparents, bring your tutu, bring everybody. Just have this relationship. It's not something that, you know, it's not just an event. Even the word event is susah for me. It's not an event, it's a gathering of the public. So that they feel that, hey, you know, don't forget, and we must also, when we see, we must become, you know, focus on the importance and then become stewardship and make that into our fight too. You know, stewards of our own culture. I am Chinese and Rawan. What do I know about Rawans? I had to learn about it. It's still part of me. It doesn't matter only 3 fingers. It's Barawan. That makes me that kind of thing lah. You know.
Any other questions? Anyway, so if not, so we will end the and inshallah we will be inviting other press to come again after the election, right? A couple of days, before the 25th, hopefully probably on the 22nd and the 23rd, inshallah. And yeah, hopefully more coverage will happen to sort of like spread the word. Yeah, and we'll be sending you the press statement later. Okay, and yeah, so thank you everyone, and yeah, so let's enjoy. That's not too overfire. But soon,
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Okay, so thank you very much.